Hi everyone, I'm back again with another video of mine. You all know me, I'm Monalisa Joshi, the founder and director of Chrysanthemum Chronicles. It's a contemporary publishing house that I run from New Delhi, and we have done some 4 titles which are doing great in the outside world into the world of the readers, and we are also trying to increase more and more of the circulation so that our books are received by many of the readers and they enjoy the rich literary content that we are publishing and bringing them in front of the reading fraternity. And today I am not doing a video on any excerpt reading series. In fact, it's a completely different video today because I'm doing something special, and that is an unwrapping moment in front of you all of the new title that has recently come out from my publishing house. This book was in pipeline for a very long time because of many reasons. Firstly, when I started taking submissions, it was in the year 2021 when I opened the submission gateway for all the writers who were interested to write for it. And then many submissions came, out of which I chose some 15 stories which were truly brilliant, and some of them were also guest writers, invited writers who also wrote for this prompt. It was a completely different theme that I brought into the group, and everyone was very thrilled to know that they would be writing on it, especially the fiction writers. And then the journey of their weaving the tales began, and that's how slowly the book came into existence. Before I do the unwrapping, I would like to share the journey of it, and so that you would know that what goes into the back end and how things are done. So that's how the submissions came through, and I selected some 15 writers, out of which in the initial stage 5 of the writers were guest writers, and slowly then we received some 10-12 more entries, and they wrote for it in keeping the theme in their mind, and they brought out amazing stories from their deft pens, and we received 15 stories in total, and one of the stories mine, that makes it 16 stories. And the most interesting part of this book is that it has been edited by a male editor who is also the senior editor of Chrysanthemum Chronicles. He's Deepak K. Chaudhary, and I address him as sir because he is very senior, because he has great experience not only into the world of writing but also as an editor. So he is someone I really look up to when it comes to editing. And also one of our senior editors is Nandita De. She also has one of her stories in this book. So he began the process, but somehow he told me very candidly that he might not be able to take up this project because he was busy with some personal commitments and some work commitments, due to which the project might get delayed. So he frankly told me that if I'm comfortable, I might go ahead and select some other editor for this job. And I was quite rigid, and I stayed very firm on this statement that I wanted it to get edited by him only, because I knew his editorial skill from the earlier coveted book that he edited, and I knew that he would do great justice to this book in terms of editing, shaping it and proofreading it. Not once but many times he did that, and that's why the process got delayed. But thankfully all our writers, they have been very patient, and they waited, and they never disturbed they were not disturbed by the fact that this book will get delayed. They were quite they received it well without any question, because they were seeing the process of our whole journey and our working, because we were doing so many other things all together. So I'm really thankful to them for being so patient and for being so kind, for allowing us the time the book took. So finally, when the first round of editing was done and Sir Deepak sir sent me the manuscript, I sent it off to the writers and they were quite happy with his editing and they approved. Then began the second round of editing, after which I started typesetting, and then I did the typesetting and completely enjoyed doing it, because I gave it my own personal aesthetics and touch to it, because I knew it's a book that has 16 women writers, including me of course. So 16 women writers, and all the stories were on a theme, and they had to bend the story from around the theme and not exactly use that term which I gave the theme on, I gave the prompt on. And that's how the stories came into shape, and the typesetting was an enjoyable journey. And sometimes some difficulties came because I'm also learning many new phases of typesetting, but I finally was able to pull it off with great enjoyment at the end, because I was happy with the final product. I was quite satisfied. And then when I hit the approval button when I sent the final files to Thomson Press, they are our printing partners. They are the supporters who have been the part of our journey from the very beginning, from the very first book we did, Macabre Tales. So I feel really honored and deeply privileged that the book, the final product when it comes, is coming from the press of Thomson. Thomson Press is a big name. It's it's the biggest printing press in the entire Asian subcontinent. So this book came into life, and now I'm going to do the unwrapping in front of you. So here it is. This is the book, Songs of a Mermaid, Tales of Urban Women, by multiple authors. This is the front cover page, as you can see, and this is the back of it. You can see the editor's photograph, Deepak K. Chaudhary sir, and he prefers himself to be called as Darshak, which he has used also, which is his pen name as well, as he sees the world from an observer's eye, as he says. And as I've noticed in most of his works, that there's an acute observation of the world around him, which he tries to portray and reflect through his poetry, his prose, and an amazing editor. So I'm just tearing off this plastic wrapper, and here this is coming out, and you can see I'm holding a whole bunch of 4 copies here, and these are the amazing, I mean, this is beauty I'm holding, I would say. I had this cover page design long back, even before the submissions were going on, because I do things in a very enjoyable manner. So I keep on designing many cover pages when I'm having the time in my hand. So I shared this cover page with one of the writers whom I met, and she fell in love with it instantly, and immediately she said that I also would love to be part of it, and that is how her story is also placed in it. She is none other than the Haveli series author from Readomania, Harshali Singh ji, and she's a very sweet lady and a great writer. So it happened long back in 2021, seems like a very long time, although not that long. It's only 2022 that has started. I mean, we are in the mid of it, but still at that point of time I showed her the cover page and she was in awe, and that is what I'm still in awe of, the feeling, because I loved that loved the cover page at that point of time, and still I keep on looking at it in complete awe, because the shades, the color, tone, everything that I tried to match with the back and everything has come out beautiful, elegant, I would say, and it justifies the title, Songs of a Mermaid. Why does the Songs of a Mermaid, why the title is this? Because I gave this theme in the group where the writers, they had to write stories about women, women from every walk of life, mundane, ordinary, extraordinary, if there are. And we all are extraordinary, yet we are also living in this mundane world. We all enjoy our life, and we do all the things that are expected from us, and such are the women characters. They are enjoying their life, they are very much part of it, and yet whatever happens around them has been changed into stories. And these are all fiction, imaginative tales, but you will still find some reality, some resonation, that you will feel that yes, I have seen such kind of thing happening to somebody, or maybe to you as well. If you find that kind of resonance, it would be really an amazing thing. And this is the blurb which I would love to read out, and it would give you some idea of how beautifully Deepak sir has written the foreword for it. And this is just a little paragraph that I took from his foreword, which runs up to 3-4 pages, and I took this paragraph. After reading this paragraph, I will show you a little of the inside of the book, how I have typeset it and how I have designed it. First, I'll just have a sip of water because it's really hot these days. Storytelling at its best is much more than just putting stories in words and presenting them to the audience. It's primarily about living our stories, feeling their pulsation, assimilating and internalizing their spirit, and finding in them a refreshing way to come to terms with the undulating topography of human existence, the myriad roller coaster challenges it poses, its inherent ambivalences and contradictions, unlocked mysteries, unpredictable emotional dynamics, and complex ontological core. The craft of writing stories with any measure of finesse therefore comes from a deep-seated love and fascination for life. This anthology does the same. By Deepak K. Chaudhary Darshak. So, just gives you an idea of how amazing this anthology is. It has amazing stories by some of the very seasoned writers in the writing fraternity these days. You might be aware of the names even if you are someone new, because their books are doing great there and they are like almost bestsellers. So we have a story by Lily Swarn ma'am, Dr. Sunil Kaushal, Harshali Singh ji, by Anupama Jain, Ananya Mukherjee, Dipti Menon, Kiran Panchoshi, who is a very acclaimed horror genre writer, Preeti Brahmin, whose whose biography on her grandfather has not recently, it came last year, but it's still like a fresh book. And books, that's the best part, as I have learned this from Nandita. She keeps on saying this, and now this is also my mantra, that creative works, whatever creative work is out there, it never goes out of fashion, or it's never old. So that's the best part of all these books that are coming out, that they are never going to be old. Whenever you will read, you will have a fresh angle to it. And if you are someone who just picks up the book, will find all the stories to be really refreshing and fresh every time you get hold of this book. So Kiran Panchoshi, Preeti Brahmin, then we have our next another senior editor story, Nandita Dey, Dr. Supriya Bansal, Manisha Sahu, Dr. Paramita Mukherjee, Rashmi Agrawal, Alipi Das, Moushumi Bhattacharjee and Mona Lisa Joshi. That's me. My story is at the back, and now I'll show you the little bit of its inside, and how I did the authors. I did it this way. Meet the authors. A little different take I have given this time, and I'll show you how I've designed. Every story has a beautiful illustration from where it starts, of a mermaid, to symbolize the title, Songs of a Mermaid. But again, these are not purely mermaid stories. One or two stories are more like mermaids, and they have been used in a very blunt manner, the mermaid word and everything, but they have a different take to it. Ultimately you will get to know that why the mermaid has been used in their stories. And for the break, where the story has a break, or the asterisk marks, which shows the break in the story, or the change of the tone of the story. So I have used these illustrations, two mermaids. So this is how I've done the typesetting, and it came out really well. And also I have used the font Platino Linotype, which I really loved, and there are some other different fonts as well for the heading and everything. So by now you can understand that I enjoy typesetting, and I love designing this book. And all the last three books including this one, I have designed them all. And also the journals, I designed them and enjoy doing it. So I feel very happy and proud that I'm doing this thing. I was completely new to this whole situation or arena of typesetting a book, of designing content and everything, but slowly I learned, and how I learned, I'll share that journey through another video and give you some tips as well of how you can typeset your book with great ease. So for that you will have to wait for my another video, which I'll make in some time, because I'm kind of little occupied because I have guests at home and I'm enjoying some me time with them, because it's really relaxing to unwind and catch up with many things. But today I really wanted to do this video, therefore the setting has been changed as well. As you can see, I'm sitting in a different area, but this is kind of enjoyable part of your work, that you get the acceptance when you are giving that acceptance out there into the world. So yes, this is our most recent book, Songs of a Mermaid. If you haven't checked it out yet, it's available through Amazon, and soon it would be available through Flipkart. And if you want to get it directly from me, then I'll share the link in the description and also in the website. So go ahead and don't think any further. There are some 16 amazing stories on women, which reflects their different shades of life, their roles in their life, sometimes how they go through many struggles and challenges, and yet they cope up, come out of it as winners. So this is an interesting book. It's going to be an amazing summer read for you all, and I hope that you will grab it and you will start reading it and share your feedback on Amazon, and also do it through your blogs. If you are maintaining your blogs or websites, review it there as well, and I'll be looking forward, and also that it will make the writers happy. So with this, I would love to bring this unwrapping video today to an end, and I'm feeling very overjoyed holding the copy of very coveted and much awaited anthology, Songs of a Mermaid, Tales of Urban Women, from my publishing banner Chrysanthemum Chronicles. Looking forward to your rave reviews and great feedback. Bye all, take care.